Welcome, Jonas.
Thank you.
Your first time in Malaysia, and I'm sure a lot of people are happy to see you here. I myself personally am very happy that you finally
I'm
got...
happy to see you here. So.
Well, I wonder about that. The relationship between fans and artists, and we're all quite sure a lot of us are fans here, and we sort of perceive artists to be a very big deal to us, and it's such a huge part of everyone. But what is the notion of fan to you?
I think, it kind of makes the whole thing make sense. And also, I really think of our fans as the people that we owe our career because, especially nowadays when all the companies are kind of struggling and it's not really about companies. It's about the people who actually enjoy your music and will come see you play, buy the records and so on. And those are the people who make your career possible, really. And this is the first album we put out now that's not going to be on a major label. So we are kind of steering towards taking more control and having more direct communication with the people who follow what we do. So I think that's really exciting, and it's always great to meet people around the world who you kind of have a sort of like an invitation to speak to them because you know that they like what you do, and so it's a way to meet people.
It's really cool, and I've heard that you've this year switched from a major label to now running on your own. Yeah. What is probably the biggest difference? What were the perks from being on a major label now that you sort of expect not to have anymore? Maybe.
Well, there used to be perks, and there still are for a lot of people, but tour support was a big perk, like getting money to be able to tour, make the records, obviously, make the music videos. And now we're doing everything on our own, so we kind of, we're taking a little bit of a risk in terms of, where is it going to go? But on the other hand, we have complete freedom, and it's very liberating to sort of just steer it yourself and take charge of it, So I think mostly what's going on around the album, how we choose to sort of present it to the world, and how we go about that. We're looking at different companies around the world. We just want to make sure that the people who distribute our music really like it and have a passion for it, because you can't really be guaranteed that on a major label. You might have a good time in Germany, but then in France they might not get it, or so. It's more communicative now,
Oh, wonderful. And that sound of yours also, it seemed to always have such a big presence. I think Bo once mentioned that it's probably one of the only stadium indie rock bands around.
Yeah.
Did you see yourself playing in Malaysia, for instance, when you first started out?
I don't know. It was always a dream to travel the world, but I never took that for granted. I never kind of knew it was going to happen or anything like that. Because it was very narrow what we did, especially I guess in the beginning was a little more. It wasn't quite as. It was a little more like post rock, So there was quite a small scene, and we always knew that, But we just did it for the passion of doing it, and because we had to do it. We had the drive to do it. But I'm very fortunate to be able to travel the world, and it's something I appreciate every day.
Wonderful. And speaking about your songs, I've been listening to your song for quite a while now. I am a fan. And reading your lyrics, there is a strong sense of imagery. You use a lot of that, and you are a very visual person. I wonder if do you write more with sort of visualizing things, or rather than a sentiment?
Yeah, I think, and also we're kind of a little bit inbred in the band. Like we never really, until recently, we never really played with other people. We always had this band, and we're kind of like a little group living in a cave by ourselves, and we kind of developed this musical language, and we do talk in very visual terms about how we want it to be. So I think that was always, also me and Bo, when we first got to know each other in school, it was because we had a, like, we weren't in the same class, so we were put together in groups to do a piece of art, you know, and we made this really pretentious art film on video, and that was the lead-in into making music together. So we always had this kind of visual approach to music, I think.
So it started with the visual first?
It started with the visual part of it, and then the soundtrack for this visual thing. So, you know, that was the first thing we really did.
Wow.
It's very bad, so nobody will ever hear it.
So it really is a full-on creative endeavor between you and Bo, and not just in that musical discipline. Well, you've been in Malaysia for 3 days now, and I'm very glad to see that you're not jet-lagged and you got to spend some time in Malaysia. We hear that you enrolled in a cooking class here. And
that's right. Yeah, I took a cooking class up in some hills, out in nature. It was a place. It was called Lazat, which I guess means delicious.
Yes,
and, yeah, and it was a really good experience. We made 3 different courses. Some like shrimp samba. Samba, and the starter, I can't remember what it was called, but it was these tiny food pies, really neat, you know. And the dessert was like this sago, like coconut dessert. It's really nice.
Did you enjoy your cooking?
Yeah, very much. It was. We spent all day on it. So we started by going to the market, and, you know, seeing all the where you buy stuff, and yeah. It's a very rich food culture. Like our supermarkets, we don't have that many different kinds of vegetables and everything, you know, and spices. It's very, you know, it's great.
Wonderful. Really wonderful to hear that you're here and having a good time,
Yeah.
Jonas. Thank you, Jonas.